got Sean Mask. He's going to be coming on to this webinar with me. You're going to hear him talking in a moment. We've got Eugene from Pretoria, Ian from Joburg. Great to see. I saw Lenny from Zim drop on just now. Hermanus. We've got Chabalani from Joburg as well. Pretoria, Cape Town. Seeing some more Zimbabweans on the call. Great to have you on here. More of Cape Town, more of Benoni. Cherie, welcome to the call tonight. JP from Joburg, great to have you on the call as well. That's it. Vanessa from Cape Town, Port Elizabeth, Belito, ex-Zimbabwean. We've got a Wellington person on as well. I think that's down in the Cape. Bedford View, Claxdorp, Cape Town, Andrew. We've got London, Doug all the way from the UK. Great to have you on the call. Cynthia from Maritzburg, Hendrik from Mossel Bay. Well done, guys, for jumping on this call. Jason from Kyalami. Fantastic stuff, guys. Just as you're coming online, if this is your first time on the call or on Zoom, go to the bottom of your screen. You'll be able to see little chat function. You can type in which town, country, city you're dialing in from. Would love to know who we're talking to tonight. I just saw Hamburg as well. That's our German partners. I'm seeing Fourways, Randburg. A lot of guys jumping onto this call. Fantastic to have you guys all on here. Nadia Stone from Port Elizabeth. I've just seen Ireland. We've got some Irish gentlemen on the line. It's fantastic. Pretoria, Bavarians Kloof. I don't know where that is. Sounds exciting. We've got Austrians on the call as well. So it's fantastic to see how many guys have jumped onto tonight's call. Guys, I'm just going to quickly bring Sean Mask onto our panelists here. So give me a second. My camera's probably frozen a bit while I'm scrolling through the panelist list here. But well done for jumping on. If you've got one or two people who you invited on, it's a good time right now just to message them and say that we're starting shortly, just so that they know that they can jump onto this webinar and they can obviously go through a presentation tonight. So now's a good time to quickly send a WhatsApp saying we're starting shortly, just to let your guests, anybody that you invited onto this call, just to let them know that we're going to be starting shortly. So again, well done for jumping on tonight's call. We're going to give it 1 more minute for a couple more people to jump on, and then we're going to get stuck into it tonight. So guys, just very, very quickly, want you to know, if I haven't yet met you, my name is Bruce Hughes. I'm based here in Belito with my boys. I've got an 8, a 6, and a 5-year-old beautiful wife. And like many people on this call, you know, we've been at home for 4 or 5 weeks now. This lockdown has really changed how we see life. I guess it has for everybody. But you know, we started preparing for this change about 4 years ago. We had a personal reset happen within our own lives, within our own finances. We basically had to start from zero. And we started by building businesses online, starting to build into multiple countries, and started growing this global business all from the comfort of our home. And I'm hoping some of you see that that's possible. I'm hoping at the end of tonight's call that those of you who are at home, who feel like you've been stuck at home, start seeing that actually you've got an opportunity to start building a business. You've got an opportunity to treat this moment as a reset and possibly even a relaunch into something new. And one of the gentlemen that I'm going to introduce you to in a moment, Sean Mask, he's been on that journey for the last 5 years as well. You know, he had an opportunity to reset, relaunch, and restart his life in a completely different business space. And that's what we want to share tonight. We want to share that you don't have to be scared. You don't have to be anxious. You don't have to be worried about the future. If you embrace the fact that we're moving into a time in our history where online businesses, where social media, where a we economy, a community-driven economy really starts playing to people's strength. And that's what I'm hoping that you see tonight. So having said that, I'm going to hand over to Sean Mask. He's a man that I trust. He's a man who comes from a corporate background and who has started to think differently. So Sean, thanks so much for your time tonight, bud. We're really looking forward to listening to what you have to share. And microphone and camera are all yours.
Fantastic, Bruce. Thank you very much. Always excited when Bruce introduces me. I always wonder what I'm going to say. Normally, but I'm extremely excited, you know, because we see where a lot of people are floundering and are worried and are scared. Then we are going from strength to. I believe it's because the and the world has become
Sean,
a different place. Yes.
Sean, Sean, we're losing a lot of your signal tonight, my bud. Just double check if your Wi-Fi is running through. If not, I'm going to take over the presentation. So just double check. Let's give it one more try. And if it cuts out again, I'll take over. But go for it.
Is it cutting out, Bruce?
Yeah. So the signal's literally cutting out. So let's give it one more turn. And if it continues, I'll just take over from here. Okay.
Okay, 100%. So that's the beauty of working with an incredible team, is you've got gentlemen like incredible businessman and always ready to jump in. So it's always good to have a team behind you. But so, ladies and gents, just to give you a little bit of my story, I bought into the still not working.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to have to jump in here, but I'm really sorry. And again, guys, listen, this is part of having an online business. We're going to have some technical glitches from time to time. But here's the amazing thing: is we all get to work from our homes, we all get to work from the comfort of our homes, and we all get to build in a community. And so I want to speak to you about the options that you have tonight in building within a community, in building with a team, building with a company, and building with products that make sense right now. I've been on multiple conversations today and this week where the narrative that's happening in the marketplace is starting to sound very similar to that first in, last out policy. You know, I've spoken to guys in the recruitment game, I've spoken to guys in the travel industry, spoken to guys in the property sales game, and all of them are sharing the same message, that there's a downsizing that's currently happening and job security is up for grabs. And we just want you to know, as Sean was saying, that we've got a solution here. We've got a solution that we think could really help people during this time, and not just help people, but give people a completely different business model to work with. So having said that, guys, I'm going to share my screen with you. And again, this is what's so marvelous. I can sit in the comfort of my own home with my cell phone, and I can do a full business presentation just from my cell phone. I mean, gone are the days where we've got to have to rent out boardrooms and hire out expensive venues. We can all be sitting in the comfort of our own homes, and we can share information. So for those of you who are on this call, by now you probably know that our company's name is KaratBars, and the company is the GmbH, based in Germany. That's been founded back in 2011. Now here's what you've got to understand about a GmbH. By German law, they are open to audits twice annually by the German government. That means that we've got a lot of transparency, a lot of credibility with a company that works in a highly regulated space. The more I talk to people, the more I hear that narrative of uncertainty. Well, here's a certain place that we can come to, a place that is transparent and has been audited twice annually. The company's been expanding aggressively. They've got over 900,000 registered customers and affiliates. You know, I remember back in the early days of Varsity, I'm 36 years old, but the early days of Varsity, Facebook had just come out, and we celebrated that 1 million people mark about, I think it was 3 or 5 years into Facebook's history. This company, almost 10 years in, has just started to hit that 1 million mark. They're on a big, big drive to hit higher numbers. And they've been branching out and putting in big offices all over, offices in Hong Kong, Singapore, Dubai, Slovenia, Romania, Spain, obviously Germany and Bangladesh, and more as the company continues to expand. The gentleman who started KaratBars is Dr. Harold Seitz. Please, guys, go and check out this gentleman. He advises to the German Senate on gold and blockchain activities. He's the author of a number of books. But the book that really stood out for me, and guys, you can get this book on Amazon. You can download it as a Audible book or as a Amazon and Kindle book. This book really started digging into where our money is at, where the economy is currently sitting. Harold Seitz wrote this book about 5 years ago. He started the company 10 years ago, and it was all in preparation for what we're sitting in right now. You know, he writes about the fact that there are these times of economic recession, these cyclical times in history where there are resets in the financial space. And we're going through a massive reset right now. We're going through a massive reboot of our economy right now. And this company and its products and gold are designed for moments like this in history. And that's what makes it really, really exciting. So let's talk about why gold. Why have gold as a product in a company, and why should we be seriously looking at it? Well, very simply put, because gold's proven itself. This isn't a new technology. It's not a new idea. It's not a new company with a stock or share. It's an age-old commodity, an age-old asset that's proven itself. In 1873, the US dollar and gold got paired and formed a new currency called the gold standard. In I think it was 1971, that gold standard was cancelled, and money was no longer backed up by gold. In other words, the financial world decided to move away from an age-old tested currency. And since 1971, we've seen more inflation, more quantitative easing, and more devaluing of money than ever before in history, just because we unpaired it from gold. You'd be able to do an exercise for yourself, depending on how old you are. Look back 10 years, look back 20 years. Look at how your buying power has dropped. Today, milk costs more than it cost 5 years ago. Today, petrol costs more than it cost 10 years ago. Today, buying a car costs more than it did 20 years ago, because our money keeps dropping in value. So let's compare that to gold. Well, gold has held its buying power. 100 years ago, you could buy a car with a bar of gold, a kilogram of gold. Today, you can buy a car with a kilogram of gold. The price of gold, though, has radically changed. In fact, as of this morning, we're sitting at closer to $57,000 a kg. That means it's grown more than 8,000% in just 100 years. The more accurate way to explain that is to say that our money has devalued almost 8,000% in the last 100 years. It's why super economists like Robert Kiyosaki, like Alan Greenspan, why the Warren Buffetts of the world are saying you need to have gold and silver as part of your portfolio. You need to make sure that your asset base isn't a safe thing like gold. So guys, I'm not a gold expert. I'm not someone who can go out and buy gold, buy the kilogram or buy the ton or even buy the ounce. But what KaratBars has afforded me, just a normal dad at home, it's afforded me the opportunity to buy small increments of gold, small affordable amounts of gold, 0.1 grams at a time, 0.2 grams at a time, 1 gram at a time, 3 grams, 6 grams at a time. I've got an opportunity through KaratBars to save into gold in small, affordable increments. And that's very unique. When I go and talk to friends of mine, most people think that gold is for rich people. Most people think that gold is something you've got to save up for years. But actually, it's just a habit you can create. You can decide to buy as little as 0.1 grams every week and slowly build up your gold portfolio. You can buy 1, 3, 6. Make it a habit. Take your money away from the rand, pound, dollar, euro, where it's dropping in value, and move it into gold, which continues to grow. That's the decision we can make through a company like KaratBars. The other excuse I get from guys for not buying gold is they say, it's not liquid enough. How do I sell my gold when it's time to cash out? Well, with KaratBars, they've set up something called KaratPay. It's a digital wallet system where you can track how much gold you own, and it gets stored for free on your behalf. But you can track how much you own, and you can change that ownership. You can send that gold digitally from one person to another. You can pay for goods with it. In fact, KaratBars in June and July this year will have in its function the ability to move the gold directly back into euros and load it onto a KaratBars MasterCard. This is what the company's been working on for the last 10 years, making gold affordable and making gold liquid. And that's the opportunity that we sit on right now. Now, guys, I want to just talk to you face to face for the next 2 minutes before going into the second part of this presentation. But here's really what I want you to grab hold of tonight before I talk about the business model.